Welcome to a podcast of Carbon Gym. Today we have our very own, the big boss, Johnny Bourke.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is very exciting. So Johnny set up Carbon Gym. It's been a lot of work in the making, but it's been incredibly successful. So we thought we'd do a podcast sharing the adventures of not only Johnny, but Carbon. So let's get stuck into it.
Sure.
Tell people who you are and where you came from.
Johnny, born and bred in Geelong, lived here my whole life, kind of grew up around Grovedale and still kind of reside around that area.
Cool, love it. What got you into fitness?
I always played footy as a kid, always drawn to extreme sports, so bike riding, skateboarding, rollerblading, all that sort of thing. I did play footy, wasn't much of a team sport guy though. And then I sort of fell away from sport until my mid-20s and then got back into martial arts.
So starting off in your health and fitness kind of journey, were you ever overweight?
Yes, so I really enjoyed drinking and as a result of that I got extremely overweight, ended up around 120 kilos. And I guess that's what sort of got me back into fitness because I wanted to skydive, but they told me I was too fat.
Really?
So I started doing Muay Thai to lose weight. And then,
why Muay Thai?
I was living with housemates at the time and they were doing Ashihara karate. I went along with them, didn't really enjoy it. And then when they converted to Muay Thai, I gave it a go and loved it.
Did you do any martial art growing up as a kid?
Lots of boxing, but that was about it.
Cool. And then growing up in Grovedale, in terms of like the sport that you kind of got yourself into, the Muay Thai that you got yourself into, what made you go, hey, I'm going to open a gym?
I was working in IT. I worked in IT for about 10 years and I was just getting more and more overweight and just sitting at a desk, and I kind of just thought, I can't do the corporate world. I remember I was sitting at the desk and they were throwing around all those LinkedIn terms, you know, like they were going to table it and, you know, circle back to it. And I was just like, I'm going to kill myself if I have to do another day here. So yeah, I did my PT course. Did another course, which was a business one, and then started PTing.
So when was this? What year was this?
Must have been 2012.
Cool, so you've been in the fitness industry a while. What do you see as like a trend doing Muay Thai back then to seeing what Muay Thai is now and obviously having that as part of your gym? What do you see the trend go like with martial arts in particular?
I found that being Victorian, kickboxing was huge. But I trained under Chris Bradford initially, and he brought and really kind of respected the traditional Muay Thai side of things. So I found, I found it probably a lot more traditional back then to what it is now. I think that's just because the average person coming into the gym, they're MMA fans, a lot of them, so they don't really know the background of Muay Thai, the traditional part and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fascinating to know because I'm not educated in that world, me just purely the gym. I want to dial back a little bit, working in the IT and you know, wanting to do skydiving and having to lose all this weight, and so you've turned to fitness. What was eating habits like? What was your daily schedule like? You'd wake up, have a coffee, go to work. Like, run me through a day in the life of Johnny back then.
Yeah, I did eat a lot, but it was probably more the drinking. It was the alcohol that was killing me.
What a social life.
Yeah, once I found Muay Thai, I was doing Muay Thai and BJJ, so I was doing it under Chris Bradford and he shared a gym with Dan Cherubin.
Cool.
So I was doing both, and the minute I did it, I just went 7 days a week, become obsessed, ended up doing a bit of wrestling with Sam Parker in Melbourne, and then I think I lost 40 kilos in my first year.
Wow.
And probably a big part of that was giving up drinking for 6 to 8 months.
So how do you say that now, implementing I suppose a fun lifestyle of still having a beer here and there, how are you able to still enjoy a beer here and there and have a great physique now?
Well,
what have you learned?
That you can have a beer here and there, you just can't do it Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday,
Were
pretty
you
much.
sending it that much?
Yeah.
Far out. Okay, wow. So let's go into you doing Muay Thai, and then what, did you open a gym then after you've had some success with your weight loss? Like, what got you into wanting to open a gym?
I didn't really. Everything kind of happened by accident. I was doing Muay Thai, and then I kind of fell out of love doing the IT stuff, which was always my passion. And then I went and did my PT course, and I was in an extreme amount of debt, mainly due to crashing cars and partying and
Being your 18-year-old self then.
being a goose.
Yep.
So I started doing security at Lorraine Star, driving the girls around.
We need to tap into that. That's
Yeah.
great.
I actually got that job through a guy I was doing BJJ with.
Wow.
He was leaving and then he's like, oh, I'll put in a good word. And it turned out my mum knew to Madam.
Wow.
So she put in a good word for me too. And
Got the job.
yeah, and it was kind of before Tinder and Facebook and all that sort of thing. And yeah, I nailed down about 40 grand of debt in my first year doing it, working full time, and then yeah, saved up and got a little studio happening.
So getting out of debt, I know it's kind of like a little sideswipe around what our intention of the podcast was. What motivated you, obviously, to get out of that? That's a huge factor, got to get out of debt. But what were little tips and tricks that you could maybe pass on to someone about being in trouble financially and getting out of that?
For me, the reward was going to be, yeah, I did give up having a bit of fun, but I didn't have to work in an office anymore. So that was what I worked towards. And then I didn't really read any books or, you know, I do now, but back then I just did a spreadsheet and I just recorded everything I spent. Yeah, and then the ADHD in me, like getting to tick something off every week, you know, just having all your bills and going gone, or, you know, 500 off that bill gone. And then it become gamified.
Everything's got to be gamified. I get to the point where sometimes I actually write things down that I've achieved and tick them off just so there's an extra little tick on the list.
Yeah.
So you opening this gym, run me through the steps of doing that. You've exited the IT world. You've obviously got a background of understanding the computer side of it, but now growing a business with face-to-face clients and building up a client base. How did that go?
Having the Muay Thai background was very good. I think being a PT, you need a niche. That was my niche. That was what stood me out. The IT background definitely helped. I was like an early adopter of social media. You know, I knew or understood about SEO, setting up your website, all that sort of thing. And then I was very lucky enough to meet a girl named Hannah. I got introduced by a mutual friend, and she's kind of been with me from the beginning, helping out, doing all that sort of thing. Yeah.
I love that. So you growing to what you are now, what were the steps that you put in place to get bigger and then go to elite and then have carbon? Like, how did this process actually go?
Yeah, it wasn't planned. I did the personal training studio, and then all my friends were coming in training, and I would train them for free. So I would have sparring partners because I was fighting at the time.
Yeah.
And another guy, Nick Salvino, he had started training me. And then the boys were like, open a gym, we'll pay you. We want to come train with you. And
what backing did you have then for that? Like financially, you were out of debt, but like what tools did you have? Did you go get boxing bags? How did you get your name set up? How did you bring this whole Johnny to life?
I got pushed. I had a very good business mentor, Danny Hayes, pretty well known around Geelong.
I watch his videos all the time on YouTube.
$1 Million Bogan. And I had a coffee with him one day and I told him it wasn't really a plan, but what people had asked, what they wanted me to do. And then he pretty much called me a bitch and said, do it. Don't be a pussy. Go for it.
Love it. Called you out.
Yeah. And then I didn't have enough money. So I went to the bank and told him I was buying a car.
Incredible.
And then, spent that money on setting up the business.
Incredible. So where did Elite come from? So for those that don't know, Johnny has multiple gyms. One of them was Elite Training Centre, which I was gratefully a part of. But tell me the story about how that evolved.
Yeah, probably about the time I set up Main Event, which was my original gym. Pete Davenport and Paul Rutherford had set up Elite. And then I essentially I brought in. And then 2 years later, they had like a heap of other projects going on, and I brought them out.
The main man.
Yeah.
Cool. So how long were you at Elite for before Carbon started to eventuate?
Oh, that was like very recent. So that was during/after COVID. Yeah.
What made you go, I need to do something more? Like, you've got Elite, you've got Paradise, which is another gym as well. What made you go, hey, I want to do Carbon? Like, where did Carbon come from?
Yeah, Paradise was born after lockdowns where we were allowed to train kids but not adults. And that blew up. And then once we reopened, it was kind of dangerous to have that many kids running around the gym. Also, I think Jamie, who's my business partner, she was pretty burnt out and she was going to leave me. And again, I spoke to Danny Hayes and he's like, you need to offer her something. So I'm like, let's do a gym together.
Wow.
So that's how Paradise was born. And then Carbon was a client who I was training, and then he was opening up a gym and he had a business partner fall out. And I was like, I know a guy. And then
I know a guy.
Yeah, here we
Let's
are.
go back to Paradise. So Jamie, hopefully she's watching this. She runs a lot of the classes at Paradise. What is Paradise for those that don't know?
It's a family-focused gym. Lots of kids, big kids program, and then also the mums and bubs, which is where Jamie kind of started.
That really, I've run a couple of classes there and absolutely loved it. It's great setup and really good for group classes.
Which is what we're trying to evolve kind of past that mums and bubs sort of thing now. Like it's still the premier kind of class at the gym, but we are just trying to attract a lot more just adults, like that group fitness style.
What about footy clubs? Can they come there and do?
Yeah, we do. We have lots of footy players.
Awesome.
It's a real like community in Paradise. Everyone knows everyone. So as soon as one person starts training, he's got 4 mates that'll come along. Or
it's actually I actually love working there. It's good fun. All right, so let's go. You've opened the doors to Carbon. Carbon started to blow up. You've got Studio 3 and now Studio 5. Do you want to explain to the viewers what Studio 3 is, or the gym side of Carbon?
Yeah, so Carbon opened up and it did not go off the way I wanted it to be honest. It was slow. We were bleeding a lot of money.
Wow.
I was very fortunate that Elite was doing well and could subsidise it. But since opening Studio 5, it just took off.
Which is what? What's Studio 5?
Yeah, so Studio 5 is essentially the athlete/fight part of the gym. So we couldn't get the building next door, so we're 2 doors up. And that's where we do all our group classes now.
What sets you apart, I should say, from the other gyms in Geelong? Like in terms of the facility that you've got, what you offer, memberships, what's different from joining Carbon as opposed to another competitive gym in Geelong?
I guess I've been involved in it so long, I'm probably like so close to the forest, I can't see the trees, but getting like member feedback, it's a boutique gym. It's a huge gym with that boutique feel. We're not like a chain. Where that was really evident was probably over COVID, where we didn't have corporate or head office saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, within the rules, we just did whatever.
Over COVID, we needed to use equipment, and the one person you could ask was Johnny, and he just had this little schedule, one person in the gym, 1 hour at a time, you leave, next person comes in. It was so good. It wasn't corporate. It was literally a local looking after you. So that's a big thing that I noticed as well.
Yeah, so that's probably the big point of difference, and we are a bit of a one-stop shop. Like we have world-class Muay Thai trainer, you know, athletes across the board. We've got Olympians in here. We just had another one join the other day. So the knowledge in here is just mental.
Not just in the fighting side, but the gym side as well.
No, we've had like shot putters, javelin throwers,
volleyball,
a rower, I think, recently, yeah.
Wow.
Lots of basketball players. We've had NFL players in here, college footballers.
Cool. And do you do a lot of group sessions for a specific club? Like, do you do footy club boot camps? Do you do anything like that?
Probably now footy's over, we'll get a lot more.
Yep.
I sponsor the Belmont Lions, so we've done a little bit with them. We've had a lot of support from Newcombe, Corio, North Shore, all the local clubs.
I love that. Yeah, that's really cool. So in terms of you growing your business, Carbon, bigger and better, what's next for Carbon?
No more gyms, I tell you that much. No more.
I saw your ChatGPT. I laughed so loud.
No more. For Carbon though, I probably want to push more into the wellbeing. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve that'll be coming over the next 12 months. We're going to bring the kids program we have at Paradise into Carbon.
For fighting or the gym or what?
For kids, so we'll have kids BJJ, Muay Thai. That'll start November 4th. Probably a few more ladies only. We did do it in the past and then demand went away, but I think from the emails we're getting.
Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, and just ladies only in general, that sort of, the demand is definitely back there. So we're looking to do that now and then just expand on our schedule.
So what can someone looking for a gym, they want to join, they're looking at Carbon, they're looking at other competitors in Geelong, what could you say to them that would get them over the line to come and see? Is there a trial? Is there something that they could come and check out?
Yeah, we do a trial. We offer our full membership at the moment for $25 a week.
Wow.
That gets you access to ice bath, sauna.
That's the full membership?
Everything, every class, and you got 7 days.
Wow.
If you do sign up before the end of 7 days, there's a few other things you will get given that you'd normally have to pay for. But yeah, just come in. We're confident that if you come in, you'll enjoy it and you'll hang around.
I'm convinced as well. So let's touch on the studio number 3. So studio number 3 is the gym side. You've got a myo, you've got a couple of personal trainers, you've got some boxing coaches, you've got a phenomenal staff at the front. What is something that is memorable for you if you were to go on holiday and think back at Carbon, Studio 3, the gym, what would you think of? What do you think of when you think of Studio 3?
Stress, to be honest.
I was going to say, you've got everyone looking after you.
Yeah, no, it's that was a nightmare, to be honest, to get set up. Yeah, there was anything and everything that could have gone wrong did.
Murphy's Law?
Yeah, where Studio 5, although people might have seen me freaking out a few times, it was a walk in the park.
I went to Thailand and came back and it's heaven.
Yeah.
It's so nice. It's so good. Guys, if you want to do Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or boxing or karate or Pilates or anything, come along. Have a look at Studio 5. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. Now, we're going to veer off a little bit. I want to hear a little bit about you personally. So I want to ask, you've shared a story about you going to Antarctica, and I'd really love you to share it to the viewers. I want to know, I'd like you to share with them your journey going to Antarctica. Why did you go, and what's the intention, and what's a memorable, funny moment you can share?
It's always been like a bucket list item. And then I knew that if I was going to do it, I'd go from Argentina. It's just the cheapest way you can do it.
Straight down?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I kind of booked a bit of a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I had a friend get married in Queenstown, so I flew there, then flew to Auckland, over to Chile, did a few nights in Chile, down to Antarctica, did 10 nights there, Argentina. And
How cold is it? Like, obviously it's snowing cold, but like...
It's cold. When you're on the ice, it's not too bad during the day.
Windy?
Yeah, it's when the wind kicks up, it's a killer.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So what did you do there for those 10 nights, 10 days?
Every day you had like an excursion, or twice a day, depending on weather. I was very lucky and only missed out on one.
Wow.
And then mine was a bit of a research boat, so you could get involved and do what they called citizen science. So you get projects, so they'd get data overnight from NASA or wherever, and they would have, it could be like photos of ice caps from a satellite, and then we would go in Zodiacs, check them out, take photos.
What's in Zodiac?
A Zodiac is like a boat.
Yep.
You go out in the Zodiac, take photos of the wildlife and the iceberg they're looking at, and then they would then have the ground data, match it all up, and then they do.
So you're a part of science.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What's an animal that you remember being very cute and fun?
The leopard seal. It's very cute and fun, but it is the apex predator.
In what way?
It will take out a killer whale.
Wow.
And it's the one you got to worry about the most.
Did you see it?
Yeah, a few times.
Like doing its thing?
Generally just chilling, sunbaking. Yeah.
Wait, did you see penguins?
Yeah, so one night we got to sleep on the continent and we woke up with a heap of penguins at our feet.
Why?
And I was talking to the guide and he said, yeah, they get that humans aren't a threat generally. And if they stay near you, the seals won't come near you. Yeah.
So you're the protector.
Yeah.
It's like having a pet. Are they like cats?
What
would you say penguins are like? Dogs?
They're like, I don't know, they're pretty dopey.
Like
they're
chickens.
funny, yeah.
Maybe sleeping at your feet. That's really cool. So once you left that, you came back to Australia and then obviously continued with Carbon. How did you differentiate you having this lifestyle of living on another continent for 10 days and then coming back going straight into work? How can you dissociate?
I love work, so I was like kind of looking forward to it at the end. Yeah. So yeah, I was always happy to come back.
Is there a reception down there?
Yeah, it was very expensive. I think I spent, because I had to be online for work, maybe $300 for 10 gig.
What?
And that was Starlink, Elon's thing, yeah.
Wow. That's really exciting. So where else have you been? Where's next for you?
Where else have I been? I've been.
Where haven't you been?
No, I've got lots to tick off.
Okay.
Yeah, done a lot of America. I love America.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Texas? Please
Yeah,
tell me
done a
that.
little bit down there.
Yeah. Vegas, obviously.
Yep.
LA, is that rough?
I could live in LA.
Really?
If I was rich, I could live there.
Is it like they say it's like Gold Coast, quite warm?
Yeah, it's like
Beach vibe?
27 every day, pretty
that's
much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Love Miami, Canada, done all of Canada, Alaska, Hawaii. We go to Hawaii most years. Done Tijuana, done Samoa, New Zealand.
Where's the roughest place you've been, the most uncomfortable place you've been? Where you're like, ooh, can't get, I need to get out of here.
Athens, Greece was really dodgy for me, yeah.
As in the people were?
At night, you didn't feel great.
Wow.
Yeah. And you got told to be careful.
Wow.
But other than that, probably Tijuana for sure.
Yeah, right.
We ended up hiring a gangster to look after us. Yeah. So.
What was his name?
I can't even remember.
Ivan.
But we got him so blind one night that he just never come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Great story. Whereabouts in Australia have you loved visiting, and where would you like to go again in Australia?
Australia, probably. I love Geelong. I'm one of the few.
Really?
I actually really, other than the weather, I love living here.
Sunday weather was great.
But my brother is on, where's he? Palm Beach. I love it up there.
That's where I live.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I couldn't do the Gold Coast, but down below
Palm
a bit
is
more.
great.
Yeah.
Kira,
Yeah.
Coolangatta.
Yeah.
All south. South's good. South from Broad Beach.
Yeah.
All for it. How long's he been up there now?
What? 12 years?
I'm pretty sure I played that gridiron thingy with his partner up there when I lived up there.
Yeah.
That's how I was like, I know this girl.
Yeah.
Small world, crazy. So, goals for Carbon next. So we've kind of tapped into a little bit of what's next for Carbon with the kids coming along. What's next? What do you want to achieve?
Finish off Studio 5, get the kids program going, kind of push more into that wellness area, and probably down the track MMA is on the cards.
Wow.
Yeah, I did say I wasn't going to do it, but
Well,
I probably will. Yeah.
you'll do it. Ice bath. Tell me about this ice bath. So you had the one at Elite, which was awesome, by the way.
Yep. Don't want to talk about it.
Don't.
No, we're getting a new one. We're getting a new one.
All right.
So Pete Davenport, my old business partner, he's working on that for me.
Legend. Getting it done.
Yeah.
Cool. I would have to say the sauna that's at Carbon is probably one of the best in Geelong. Now, I love a sauna. I probably go once every day to every 2 days. And there's 2 saunas that I like in Geelong, and Carbon's definitely one of them. It gets bloody hot. 82, 83 degrees is like a normal, which is cool.
Yeah, it'll go up to 100, but we don't let it.
I did 113 in Thailand, and
Yeah.
I did 14 minutes and nearly died in there. Had the full woolen hat and everything. It was crazy.
We had it at 100, but it was melting the metal like
Okay.
speaker shrouds.
Okay,
And yeah.
yeah. People go in there with their phones. They cook
Yeah,
it.
mental.
Not smart.
Not good at all.
Not wise. All right, cool. So, is there anything else you want to share with our little podcast? Anything that needs to be taken note of? Any shout outs you want to do? Anything that you want to share of gratitude? The staff members, the personal trainers, the myos?
Yeah, my staff have been great. I've got a really good team at the moment.
You do.
Really good team.
You've got a really good team.
And then the dream team of contractors. So
Yeah.
I owe them a dinner. We'll have that coming up. Marcus and Neevesy, they took over the full build of Studio 5.
Yeah.
My other mate Cameras, he did all the welding. Ended up setting off the fire alarm, and
The best.
yeah, that would have been
Who's
five.
the guy
That would have been
that-
$5,000 normally.
Wow. The car wash just down the road, you were doing some
Yeah,
shit. Can you
James,
explain that?
he's been amazing. He's got a heap of toys like scissor lift, forklift, any equipment hire we need, we've got through him, and that has saved me tens of thousands of dollars.
I'll say something. These people that help Johnny aren't doing it because Johnny's just a good person. He's a bloody good human, and he'll give you anything in order for you to succeed. So I'm very grateful to be a part of your little carbon team. It's actually a joy, and for me to be able to run a little podcast like this and share your story, it's very exciting. I hope we can do more of these.
For sure.
Hopefully I edit it well enough and it goes viral. Is there anything left to say for the viewers? Come on down. Is there an open day or something?
Yeah, I might as well do a little promote.
Yeah.
Kids classes start November 4, BJJ and Muay Thai. You'll get access to both gyms, so here in Paradise for the kids.
Cool.
We'll also have a team boxing program announced today. I'll have those details figured out after lunch. Open day will be November 10 or 7 till 10, and we'll run the Thursday to Saturday.
Okay, Thursday.
And then we'll finish it off with the Run Geelong team
cool.
from the gym on the Sunday. Yeah.
Cool. And if you do want to come and try it out, go to Studio 3, see one of the girls at the front desk and say, yo, I've seen the video, I want to try this out. It's only, $25 for the week, did you say?
For the trial, yep.
Oh, that's bloody cheap. That's so worth doing. And then if they want to get into Muay Thai or any Jiu-Jitsu, what would be the next step for that?
Sign up. We've got a good open day promo running as of now. If you sign up, you get a twins boxing bag as a bonus.
I saw that on Instagram.
Yep. We've just brought a new, what's it called? In-body body scanner.
Oh, we need to do a scan of that.
Yep.
So you jump on the scales, you hold on, it gives you your body fat percentage. That's really cool.
So you'll score a free scan as well.
Wow. What are they valued at?
$50.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a great score. Well done. Cool.
And a few other goodies as well.
Amazing. Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm very grateful to run this little podcast, and hopefully we can do many more.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.